Without question, we're seeing unprecedented global change, and it's impacting organizations like never before. Organizations are having to lead change. They're having to respond in ways that they've never had to consider before. We're seeing governments having financial challenges with what's happened in Greece, what's happened with the recent bailout in Ireland with the IMF. And what we're seeing is a lot of organizations are coming to us now and saying, hey, can you folks help us? How do we become more productive as an organization? What do we need to do with our people? What can we do with our managers? What are some solutions you can offer? And they were always asking us for what they should do. And our response is many things, depending on what industry they're in and whether we've worked with them before and so forth. But one of the things that we're very clear on is this. It's not just about what we need to do or what we need to prioritize, but also it's about what we need to posteriorize. By that, what I mean is, what do we need to put behind us? What do we need to stop doing? What are some of the habits that we've inculcated over the years that are no longer fruitful and helpful if we're going to be productive as coaches or managers in our organization? So what I'd like to leave you with, or what I'd like to share with you, is five habits that managers need to break if we're going to be effective coaches. So if you want to be an effective coach, what are 5 habits that managers need to be breaking? Number 1, we need to stop problem solving. We need to have this mindset that if we're going to help our people, we need to help them solve the problems. As a manager, we need to stop taking the monkeys on our back. So as a mindset, as a starting point, that's probably the number 1 thing. When we wake up in the morning, we need to be understanding that our job is to equip our people with the ability to think innovatively and creatively to resolving their own problems, so it doesn't become a bottleneck at our office. Okay, so that's number 1. Stop solving the problem. Stop putting out fires. Number 2, and piggybacking on that, is stop telling, start asking. My good friend Brian Tracy has this response when people come to a manager with problems or challenges. Is simply this: asking a question like, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Have you thought about some other options? How do you propose we go about doing that? So number 2 is stop telling and start asking more. Okay, stop jumping in and telling the people what to do and start asking strategic questions that can unlock their creative thinking, their innovation to solve the problem themselves. And what you should be doing is facilitating the dialogue about what is the best possible solution to a problem. Now, the more that you inculcate these habits, obviously, the better your people will become at creating new habits for themselves, which is coming to you with better solutions to dialogue about, not just the problem. Number 3, we need to stop multitasking. Over and over and over again, when we do 360 feedback, we hear this: my manager doesn't listen to me. My boss is a very poor listener. My boss is not a good communicator. So when people come into your office, are you checking voicemail? Are you checking email? Are you looking at your computer, your BlackBerry, your cell phone? Stop the distractions and listen to your people. People feel valued when they are listened to. Now, you may not know this, but when you continue to multitask, when someone has come to you with something that's important on their mind, on their agenda, and you are multitasking and not really fully listening, they walk away and they don't feel as valued. So that serves to undermine the engagement of that particular person. So if you are a person prone to multitasking, and let's face it, we're busy, and that's a challenge for many of us, I want to challenge you to look at that as something that is actually not as productive as you think it is. And there are studies that talk about that, as a matter of fact. Number 4, stop talking in the mirror. By that I mean, frequently when we're engaging with a staff member or direct report, we want to speak to them as though their behavioral style is similar to ours. So let's take a manager whose name is Kathy. And Kathy has a direct report named Bob. Kathy is extroverted, speaks fast, generally just a very gregarious personality style. Bob, on the other hand, is introverted, is more thinking oriented, less emotive and emotional. And if Kathy continues to coach Bob, similar to her behavioral style, not giving him time to think, fast talking, if you will, much more emotive and expressive, that style may not work well for Bob. So we need to coach our people uniquely according to their behavioral style, not ours. So again, do not coach or manage in the mirror. Now, if you've never been exposed to behavioral style analysis or psychometric behavioral profiles, look some up. I'm sure you can Google some. If you'd like, contact our office. We'd be delighted to send you a sample. It's something that's very, very powerful and very important. Don't coach according to your behavioral style. Coach according to the style of the person that you are managing or coaching. You're going to be much more effective as a leader, as a manager, as a coach. And I assure you of that. Finally, number 5 is simply this. We have to let go of control as a leader or a coach, particularly in these rapidly changing times. If you were to draw a circle and write the word result in it, and below that, draw another circle and write the word action in it, below that, a third circle and write the word choice in it, what you'll find is that we understand that actions drive results. And most ineffective managers or coach try to control the actions that the people do. That's not where we're going to be most effective. What we need to do, according to Dr. William Glasser's work with choice theory, is help people at the choice level. Help them through questioning and dialogue to making sure that they're understanding how and why to make certain choices that lead to certain actions that create certain results. So if you want to be effective, coach them at the choice level. Don't tell them what to do. Don't try and control their actions, but back up and start asking them questions like, when you did it that way, was that the best way to do it? Why did you do it that way? Can you think of another way to do it? Get them thinking about choices that will get the result, but not necessarily just choices about the specific activities to get the result. People are going to do things in different ways. Your job as a manager, a leader, or a coach is to be clear on the results that you expect from them, but stimulate them into thinking about how they're going to get there, not telling them and not controlling exactly what they're doing. So if you want to be a more effective coach or manager in these times, or other times for that matter, but particularly in these tough, challenging economic times, those are 5 habits that we need to break. Number 1, stop solving problems. Number 2, start asking more questions and start telling less. Number 3, stop multitasking when our people are coming before us and they need our ear as a leader or manager. Number 4, stop talking to the mirror. That is, stop speaking to everybody the way we would want to be spoken to ourselves. Start thinking about the behavioral styles of each of our different people. And finally, number 5, stop trying to control or legislate the behaviors of our direct reports, and instead try to back up and coach them around the area of making greater choices, or better choices, that would lead to superior results. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.